All right, guys, here with Chris Kelsey live at the Nash Card Shop. I'm pretty excited to be down here. That's not true. I'm here all the time. I'm not that excited. It's kind of ordinary for me now. But Chris is our new sub guy on the page. You guys know him from before. SGC is the big topic, man. So I know you had a new price today. Why don't you let the people know, like, price, service, what's going on with you guys?
We're super excited about this. Today we are announcing we got our systems down. We know what we're doing. We're ready to roll. We're getting our price point down to $25 a card. That's $5 less than you can get on the SGC website direct to the company. So subbing through us is going to save you money right up front, $5 a card. And we are seeing currently, that advertised is 20 to 25 days, business days, but we're seeing our orders come back literally in 2 weeks. I've been telling all my customers expect 2 to 3. Some of them are getting them back in a week and a half.
Okay. So if I want to sub to you, I go to Nashcards.com. I always just drop my stuff off in person. I've got some super cheap crap. I had to dig some stuff out of the closet. We're going to rip some stuff later. So I get to drop off in person. But if somebody just finds the website, wants to sub to you, fill out paperwork, and that's it?
Yeah, if you find our website, there's 2 ways you can do it. You can, if you're not from local, you can jump on there. You can log your cards. You pick out the 5 cards you want. You jump on our website. You can log each card individually. You submit that. You don't have to pay for it until it pops. That's another really fun feature of our system, is that you don't pay until it actually grades out. So there's no money due up front. Log the cards. It's going to create you an order number, and then you just ship it on up to us with that order number, and then we'll process it that way. If you have a lot of cards, you can do a CSV upload. Alternatively, if you're not into logging cards, you can connect with our support, and we can kind of create you a numerical order, just saying, Mike Geo, 10 cards order, and then once we log it, your list will be updated into your account.
Nice. Okay, so I have a couple questions about SGC. On the back end of stuff, somebody brought this up today. There is no upcharge for value of cards after the grade, correct? Or
that is incorrect. Oh, there is. Okay. There is a potential of upcharge over $1,500. The $25 price point is a DV of $1,500.
Gotcha.
They aren't sticklers with that DV. Okay. And what I've been telling most of my customers is most of these cards that we're seeing come through the sub aren't going to be these trigger cards anyway that are going to be over that value or even close to it. But if you're subbing maybe like a Topps Chrome LeBron and you hit a 10 or a 9, that's probably going to put you up there, and there are different tiers. You can go on their website and see what the different price levels are for those tiers. You will be upcharged to that price level. We don't get any discounts or anything on anything above the 1,500 DV, so it's just up to that next level.
Super basic question I never know the answer to. Declared value as a raw card, or is it the declared value after it's subbed?
All the grading companies usually define DV as after it's subbed, the graded value of the card. However, we like to say, because that still confuses people because they don't know what the grade they're going to get. So we usually tell people, look at your card and treat it as your insurance. Like if you were to send that card to me and SGC were to accidentally ruin it when they were slabbing it or whatever, what would you want SGC to compensate you? What do you feel your value of your card? If it's a raw card that you think is going to grade high, your value is obviously way higher than a raw version of that card, right? Because you think it's going to 10. So basically, it's just like your insurance.
So what are you guys doing numbers-wise, SGC on a weekly basis, monthly basis, however you track it? What are you seeing for volume?
We can't really calculate. It's been so hard because we've been growing daily with SGC. As you probably noticed, the pulse in the hobby.
Yeah.
I've seen your show. You mentioned seeing a little, feeling it in Wisconsin. I agree with that. I had people come up to my table. A couple dealers came and dropped cards off with us to have graded with SGC at Wisconsin. You started feeling the buzz a little bit. I was in St. Louis next weekend. More and more people asking me about it. And, you come up to yesterday, it's everybody. Beckett closes down. Everybody's talking about SGC right now.
Nice.
So, our numbers have been going like this.
To me, it makes the most sense. Like I tell people, I brought in just some super random stuff. So some 93 Upper Deck Jordans. We got some Barry Sanders 89 score. I just had the 89 top sitting around. But to me, stuff like that, if a 50, and we're going to talk about this on tomorrow's podcast, Thursday's show. The resale is the gap's closing, which is good. Mm-hmm. It's not going to catch PSA in the next couple of months. I don't expect that. But if I can get stuff back in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it just makes sense to me to keep that. That churning going.
It's strange because this is eerily similar to when COVID started, right? And Beckett and PSA both shut down. SGC made this big push. I was involved in that. I sent 600 cards of myself to them. It was your only option, right? They weren't as well equipped and prepared then. You gave me some numbers earlier. We all know their employees are up 100% from then. They're ready to take on this new surge. And it's just funny how, Beckett closed yesterday. PSA's already closed. It's no longer about like what slab you like better. Which one? This is your only option. Right. If you want to grade a certain tier of cards, this is your only option right now. And it's exciting. It's exciting, yeah. So I've been pumped. I'll show you some of the cards I've been kind of going after. Like, here's a good example. You got the 2015 Donruss, the Joker rookie.
So this is, and just again, because I wasn't super familiar with this either. 9, 5, 10, and a 10 gold label.
Yeah, so the way that SGC breaks it down is you have a 9, which is mint. Then you have a 9.5, which is this other class that no other grading company has called Mint Plus. Which
seems to be comparable almost to, it's catching up to a PSA 9, seems to be the most comparable.
It definitely, I usually outsell some PSA 9s with it. Right. I like markets where there aren't the SGC comps yet, and I can kind of be like, this is a 9.5. It's a Mint Plus card.
Sure.
If a raw one or a PSA 9 a Mint card's going for this, mine's going for a little bit more, and I'm selling some cards that way.
Nice.
But with this card, I mean, this is like a PSA 10 all over the place, $1,000 probably. Who knows what this is going to sell for? It doesn't have comps yet. We just checked yesterday. But to tell me that this wasn't going to be worth my $25?
Yeah, in 2 weeks' time.
In 2 weeks' time, I bet you this is going to go anywhere between 6 and 8.
Now, let me ask you this. What are you seeing, and I'm sure you don't have specific numbers, rate, like, how hard is a PSA 10 as difficult to get as like an SGC 10?
I would probably say they're about equal. It just depends. I mean, obviously, a lot of people have been messaging me about PSA in their recent grades. I've been affected by it.
They've been brutal.
Yeah. Our percentages have gone way down on 10s on PSA. There's no way to beat around it. It's just percentages. And so maybe it's getting a little harder to obtain a 10 there. But, I say it's fair. I used to liken SGC grading to the combination of Beckett and PSA, so it's almost harder. So, you know how we always used to say, send your off-centered cards to PSA because they allow 60-40.
Yep.
Well, SGC seems to be more on Beckett's terms where, like, you can't get a 60-40 and get a 10.
Gotcha.
But when it comes to the corners and stuff, they're still just as picky as PSA, Like, you used to sneak bum corners to BGS. That's what I used to do.
Yeah.
But they seem to pick up the corner. I think they're extremely fair graders.
Now, how about gold? Do you have any gold label? Have you got any gold labels?
We've gotten some gold labels for customers. I have personally not hit a gold label in the maybe 100 cards that I've submitted in this current round. From the 600 I submitted last year, I got like 1 or 2.
Yeah, they seem super
gold
tough.
labels. It's not an easy grade. It is not an easy grade.
Yeah.
And again, the other kind of cards that I'm subbing, like here's a great example of a card I like to sub. This one might make the viewers laugh. But we have a LeBron James Topps Chrome 4.5. Now, I bought this card. It had a little baby crease in it. So we knew it was going to grade low when we sent it off. But where else can you sub a card for $25, get it back in 2 weeks, and then have a condition already stated on there and make it an easier sell? It's really hard to sell a crease card, but it's a lot easier to sell a 4.5 or a 5.
Yeah. Here's the other thing, too. I don't know I should ask you if you had any old SGC holders. The holders are new.
The holders are new.
Yeah, because it used to be.
You can kind of.
People used to say you'd be able to pop them open super easy. This is pressed just like, and you see the impression marks. So I don't know if you can see that, just like a BGS or a PSA holder. So, because that's something that has come up quite a few times.
And that brings up the best point that I love about SGC. Honestly, is they've since day one, from when I've been kind of dealing with them, they adapt. They kind of listen to the hobby and go kind of adapt their model to that. So, maybe their cases weren't right. They didn't say, oh, blah, blah. They fixed it.
Right.
Another issue was, I think I explained this to you, the autograph grade. If your autograph grades under a 10, they won't put that autograph grade on the flip because they think an autograph grade of a 9 or less detracts from the label. So, they listen to consumers that were like, stop putting 9 auto grades on our cards, like, kind of like PSA doesn't have an auto grade.
Right. Unless you specifically pay for it.
And no, you don't even pay for it. So,
no, I mean with SGC, with PSA. Right. You have to select
exactly. And so, you don't have to pay for an auto grade. If your card is autographed, it's automatically going to be graded. And if it 10s, they're going to put that auto grade on the flip. And if it doesn't get a 10, they're just going to leave it off the flip.
And they're not authenticating autos anymore either. That's another thing that's come up recently. I did finally confirm that they're not. So, So yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot. We're gonna rip some wax here in just a minute too. We'll show you that, but that's what I'm sending in. A couple, nothing crazy. Some Barry Sanders rookies, some random 19-year-old Michael Jordan rookies from like 92, 93. I guess that's 29 years old. I'm a little older than I thought. So I'm gonna dump those in and see. That's the stuff to me that makes sense though. For $25, the Jordans will sell for $100. In 2 weeks, I get it back. So yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we've obviously partnered up with them, so we're super biased and we're excited to do it. So yeah, let me grab some singles. I want to buy some other stuff. We'll keep the video rolling.
Absolutely.